So today's topic is calmness. Even by uttering this word calmness, what good feeling, calmness. And once you experience this thing, how beautiful it is. What is calmness? As you all know, calmness is one of the 8 aspects of God which we can experience in meditation. And calmness gives the devotee power to overcome all the obstacles in life. And if we talk on the level of human relations, a person who can remain calm under each and every circumstance, he is invincible. Paramahansa Yogananda ji says, you must be calmly active and actively calm. What does it mean? It means it is not enough only to be calm during meditation, but in your daily life also. In each and every activity, in each and every action, whatever you do, you have to remain calm. If we see the other side of calmness, it is how we live now. If we are not calm, it means we are angry. We have ill feelings. We have different attitude towards life. We get disturbed on small things. And we never know what are the ill effects of those things initially. But ultimately it will ruin the life. So you have to remain always in the state of calmness. How that can be done? Number 1, you must not get tempted. Temptation must be avoided. What is that? The world is full of temptations. Our tendency is that we will get fulfillment on the possession of certain things outside us. But which is not true. Once we get those things, our desire multiplies. We want to get more things again. Those things also give us pleasure for some time, but ultimately, again, we desire more and more. The moment we try to find that happiness inside us by withdrawing energy from outside towards inward and then upward at the point between the eyebrow, then we can actually find that happiness, that fulfillment. Even market people, they play with your emotions. They bring so many schemes to you, and we immediately get tempted. Buy one, get one free. Buy one, get 2 free. Even if we don't require, we go and we do shopping. They play with your emotions. And I remember when I was in class 12, there was a chapter of office organization, and there was a subject of office organization, and one chapter was salesmanship. So our teacher used to tell us, the best salesman is he who can sell comb to a bald person who has no hair. He will put that thing in such a way that even if you don't require, you will buy that thing. That is what is happening here. Right? So don't get tempted towards these things. Second, try to live in present. What is our tendency? We always worry about the future. What will happen if that thing doesn't happen? Even if that thing is not going to happen, we imagine that will happen and we get worried. Leave those things. And we think about our past, the regrets. Had I not done that thing? Had that person not done like that? Leave those things. Always live in the present. Once you learn living in the present, you will be happy. Now, in this moment. Try to live in this moment. Then, don't get attached to things. It is not bad not to have possessions. You can have, you have to live your life, but don't get attached to those things. Because once that thing is snatched from us, then we get worried. This is mine, why it is taken from me. Attachment is to be avoided. Right? And then, very best thing this path has given us, meditation, technique of Kriya Yoga. Because otherwise, in normal way, if we try to mend ourselves that we have not to get tempted, we have not to get attachments, we have not to do this thing, that thing, it is difficult. But the moment we start Kriya sincerely, doing it regularly with devotion, it becomes very easy to conquer those things. Because in Kriya what we do, we try to draw our energy inside and then lift it and then bring it to the center of the eyebrows. So you can imagine your life. Sometimes, you know what happens, it is not always that difficult situation is there, only then you get disturbed. Even excitement is also bad. If it is too much excitement, that can damage your nerves. You know what happens, even there 2 months ago, the whole month was full of festive seasons. Diwali, Dashera, and some people, they get so much excited. Even there is a wedding in the family, people are so much excited. So over-excitement is also not very good. They can also damage your nerves. Because once, when you are overexcited, the nerves, they cannot bear that energy of overexcitement. Right? So it is what you have to do. Like nowadays, when we were in our childhood, we used to see here in Chandigarh also, what is called hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah.
Hurricane. In Hindi we call it Ghurnan Hawai. What is that? Winds are making circle very speed. They have good speed and they are making circle like this. And whatsoever is coming in there near to that thing, they just pull it inside. But what is inside, it is quite calm in that circle. So you have to live like that. Whatever is happening outside, you have to be calm inside. And one thing more, leave everything in God's hands. Even in today's affirmation it is, when God is with us, why to worry? It reminds me one of the stories Kriyananda ji's said once that Kriyananda ji was very fond of visiting Disneyland. So once he, along with one of his friends, he visited Disneyland, and they wanted to have one adventurous ride. And that ride was on a boat on which only 4 persons can sit. So Kriyananda ji and his friend, they sat behind, and one person and his son, they were in front. And there was one steering wheel, which was just like that. That is not going to make any purpose, but that wheel was there. So the son was enjoying, and the boat is going with his own pace, sometimes in a very speedy way. All of a sudden, what happened? There was some maybe wall or waterfall was there, and the boat was in a speed, right? And father saw this wall, waterfall. He said, "Turn to right, turn to right, turn to right." And he himself took the charge of the steering, and he just rotated it. But nothing going to happen, because that is only a showpiece. But the boat turned, because the track is like that. That was the adventurous ride. That is happening with us. We get worried when adverse situations come. But if we have full faith in God, full faith, not belief. If we have full faith, your track is already determined. It's already decided by God. So let us make it a point to be calm, not only in meditation, but in your day-to-day life. And for that, let us do our Kriya regularly with devotion. That's all. Thank you so much.
Om Guruji. Thank you so much, Ji. I'm already feeling very calm sitting next to such a person, and we'll try and listen to what Master has to say. Oh, sorry. In whispers. Demand for calmness in activity. Father, teach me to be calmly active and actively calm. Let me become a prince of peace, sitting on the throne of inner poise as I direct my kingdom of activity. This is the thing that Master said. And like Prem Inder ji was just now mentioning, that it is not only about meditation, it is about every moment of our life that we have to be calm. And one is reminded of a story of Master. Master, towards the end of his life, had taken on so much karma of his disciples that there were a lot of niggles and problems. In fact, he had a problem in walking also, which never could be seen by anyone, but when he was alone. And Swami Kriyananda and brother Anand were with him, and in fact both of them were actually kind of used to, when he used to get up, used to catch. And brother Anand says that at that moment when he was seeing that his master, such a great avatar, is suffering so much, and he used to think, what is happening? And then he realized that master has to get up from the chair. So both of them picked him up from the side, and in that picking up, brother Anandmai went into ecstasy. He felt such love rise in his spine that tears started flowing, and he is in a bliss state. And the first reaction was, how can I be in bliss and he is suffering? And then at that moment he realized, I am not in bliss. This bliss is coming from him. And Master was trying to teach that this body is nothing. When you have established in this calmness that we are speaking of today, the body also stops being yours. How do you think all these great masters, any great master, how have they been able to live their life? With so many trials, Jesus Christ was hung there. And what did he say? Forgive them, for they do not what they do. How can he do it? Do you think he was a superhuman being? He could not feel the pain? He was established in this very calmness. In fact, Master says that calmness is the first thing that you have to achieve. In calmness, all the other 8 aspects of God will come. We have spoken of those 8 aspects of God, but calmness is the prerequisite. You have to be calm to receive the grace of God, and it will come from them. Life will teach us again and again, like Prem Inder ji was saying, life will teach us. First time God will try and tell us, listen son, don't do it like this. Most of us ignore it. Then second time, a little strongly and more strongly. And we learn. The intelligent and the devoted ones learn in the first one. Wake up. But duffers like me take a much longer time. In fact, I am reminded of, I was not born with this tendency of, taking shortcuts or pulling a quick one. And when I joined NDA and the National Defence Academy, I saw people taking shortcuts somewhere or the other. I used to say, why am I going by the proper route? Let me also take a shortcut. And what used to happen is, the moment I used to take a shortcut, I used to get caught. And in fact, one time I thought, okay, these people are telling me go around the tank and come back. And the first 3 are told to stand to one side and rest are told again. So I said, okay, let me use my brain. So the second time they told me go around the tank, all of us, I stood behind the tank and did not come back. Okay, then the next trip, I will go in front of them and come first. And what happened? He stopped sending them around that tank. I was left standing behind that tank. What was God trying to do? And then I got sorted out nice and proper. But what was the thing? He is teaching us. And when I came onto the path, I realized there is no shortcut to life. There is no shortcut to God. He was teaching me from there in the beginning. But this foolish brain was not understanding. We have to, like Prem Inder ji was saying, that boat has a predestined route. But that means, do we have nothing in our hands? Do we keep on frantically trying like that father to turn the wheel this way or that way? No. The only thing we have in our hands is how we respond to these pitfalls, these waterfalls in our life. And that is where calmness comes in. When you are established in that calmness, these things stop mattering. And that is where we realize why calmness is so important. And what did these masters say? What did Lahiri Mahasaya ji say? How could he be established? I do not know whether you are aware of the story or not. When Lahiri Mahasaya ji was sitting in that takat where he used to sit in Varanasi, in his house, his elder daughter, who was already married at that time, had come back home and she was not well. And Lahiri Mahasaya ji, being himself, he told his wife, give her this oil or something and she'll be fine. But the mother thought, no, now my daughter is married and if something goes wrong, let me call the doctor. He keeps on saying like this. And she called the doctor and the doctor gave some medicines. And 3 or 4 days down the line, Lahiri Mahasaya ji is sitting and speaking to the disciples, and suddenly there is a sound of crying from top. And people say, and he keeps on talking about Bhagavad Gita. This is something happened. That my daughter has left the body. And he continues talking. He is so established in that peace, in that center. As an avatar, he tried to help. They didn't listen. He is established. He knows that nothing has happened. It's just a garment that soul has left. How do we take death? Oh my God, as if everything has ended. In that calmness, he could receive the Nirvikalp Samadhi from Babaji. Do you think Babaji just randomly chose him? No. He had been with Babaji earlier. That calmness is the prerequisite. And in that calmness only everything will come to us. So initially make the effort of outwardly also, whenever restlessness comes into you, tell yourself, no, detach. Slowly but surely, with Kriya Yoga, with all those things, you will reach a stage where you can be kept actively calm. And that is where all these masters have taught us. I'll tell another story of Swami Kriyananda ji, of how he could be calmly active and actively calm in his life as an example of it, because he followed what Master had said. And this is a story of 2005. By this time, Kriyananda ji was suffering from a lot of physical ailments. And if you have read about him or seen him also, he was a very robust person. Actually, the moment he entered somewhere, the first impression you get of when he was younger is energy. Such a huge chest. You see him doing those exercises, and that is the energy of a vital person. And with age and with taking on the karma, this Ananda exists because he took karma of a lot of people on him. And in that state, and this is a story of 18th of May 2005, and he was giving a lecture in Rome. So he delivered that talk, hundreds of people came. He was not well, and in fact a new condition had come into him, that his inner ear, the ability to balance yourself had gone. And in fact he was at times, because he had to be kind of at times helped, and he delivered this lecture. No one was aware that this problem is there, and from there they drove down to Assisi, where there's a center. And the next day when they reached was 19th of May, which was Swami Kriyananda's birthday. And everyone had arranged for a lot of things, and after traveling, this ability of balance was actually quite degraded. So when he was brought out from the car, Jyotish ji and another disciple were holding him, Kartikyan ji in fact, were holding him from one side and getting him, and everyone was wishing him, and at that moment his neck also went like this, and that huge chest had become smaller. And the first reaction was of these disciples was, Swami Kriyananda, what has become of him? Such a vital person, he has taught us everything. And tears started flowing in a lot of eyes, that they were suffering with him. And they said, what is happening? And then they were taking him to the car, and at the car he just told them to stop, and when he turned, he picked up his head and looked at everyone, and bliss was emanating from his eyes. Such bliss that now the tears were not of pity, but of love of God, of feeling that in this state he is with Master, in that calm state, feeling God's love. That is all we have to achieve also. It's all about being calm. Be calm and you will receive God's love, Guru's love, because it is ours, our birthright. So we'll end for today.